we will get into not only talking about the schedule, but hold on, let me see. Am I missing somebody? Am I missing? Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing Gerald. Wait a minute. Where is Gerald?
Can you put 10 in?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you? I've never seen it done before.
Interesting.
Yeah, I gotta. I don't know to figure out. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. I know Gerald is there. All right, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I don't really know how to do this with 10. All right, this is gonna totally. I may have to just completely do away with everything here. No, I think I'm capped at 9. I think I'm capped at 9.
I think so.
All right. Do I have 10? I'm told I have access to 10. All right, I'm gonna have to try to figure this out in another means. While I'm doing that, while I'm trying to figure this out, let's talk about the coaching hires here. First on the docket as I try to figure this out, fellas. Kelvin, start us off here while I work in the background since I'm gonna play producer. Maybe I will go away and maybe that'll allow Gerald to pop in and then I will play producer. So I think that's what'll have to happen. I think I'm gonna have to go away. Kelvin, you're gonna have to run point on this, and then I'm gonna have to be the producer. That's the only way I can think of to get a nice.
Look at his comment.
All right. Let's do this.
Brian, you almost made it to the cool kids. Look like you gotta let the.
You know, that's fine.
It's because he left his earring off today, and he was acting like he don't know how to pull no women. That's what it is.
Off is what I'm about to do. I'm about to take off for a second.
Hey, all right. I gave Brian the wrong number though. I thought with Gerald it was only 9, so he wasn't prepared. So I'll take the arrow for that one because we actually had another 10 without Gerald that we had to. Because we was gonna bring Vaughn on too, but we started counting it up. Saying no, we can't bring everybody on.
All right, so I'm gonna see if I can work in the background and figure out how to reshuffle the layouts a little bit. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna drop out. Gerald is gonna come in, and Kelvin, you can get the discussion going with the coaching, and I'll try to work some magic in the background. All right.
All right. So part of the reason why we assembled the event, the FAMU Avengers. And we waited to this show to combine everything because we was hoping we'd have more than one announcement, and we kind of got that right. There was a third announcement with the season tickets we was hoping would come too. That one didn't come, but but Coach was able to on Sunday release his staff, and I think everybody's name except one. As far as his on the field coaching staff as well as some of the support staff, and then we also got the schedule drop the next day. So we're going to start with the staff first, and I'm going to let ladies first, right? So I'm going to let Tashay start off and just give me your overall opinion of, the staff that Coach Gray announced.
Yeah, so I thought that I liked the staff that he put together. I kind of expected, I think we have 2 staff members from Albany State. Who is it? Chris Cash and what's the O-line coach? The offensive coordinator. I can't think of his name.
Start with E, right?
Suet, right? Yeah. So I thought I actually expected to see a few more coaches from Albany State. I thought we would have a few more. I'm okay with the coaching staff that he assembled. I thought it was great. I'm really happy that we were able to get the DC. What's his name? Ryan. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Alabama State's defense, so I thought that he did a really good job. Hats off to the AD Sora Marva, okay, for getting that assistant coaching pool together so that he could get, assemble a really good staff. I'm impressed. I think that they're gonna put something together special. So yeah, that's my opinion without taking up everybody else's. It's a lot of talking left to be had, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right, I'm gonna let you answer this, and then I'm gonna jump to Ash as soon as you answer it. But you gave your opinion of the staff and a little rundown. What is the most important hire you thought that he made?
I thought about this question. I think I gotta say two. So I like the DC. I think that's but I also like the offensive coordinator Suak because even though we did a little better with the run game last year, I know that he is going to really, 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 hone in on that run game. And I think that, with the backs that we have, I think those are the two best hires for me, Suak and Ryan, for those reasons.
Okay, go ahead, Ash.
So I like the hires as well across the board. I agree with Tashay. I did think I would see more Albany State. I'm trying not to say Alabama State. That's kind of hard to not say the other one, but I thought I would see more Albany State infiltrated into the Rattler culture and nation over here. But again, just like it was said, I'm 100% okay with what we did get. I think the DC is going to be the star of the coaching mix. One thing that I really, really like is the pro pedigree that's in this, that's kind of sprinkled in this staff. It's not necessarily that, everybody's a pro. It's not necessarily that everybody even plays. Some of them played, some of them coached at a pro level or were just in the room of the pro levels, and then others did play, including the head coach. So I love the pro level that you can kind of pass down all these. We know all these athletes have those aspirations, so that's always key to me. Player personnel, just all the things. I'm really excited about the staff that I see, and I can sometimes you look at staff members and individuals that are put together, and how can you imagine them meshing together? And I can just imagine this crew coming together for one common goal and just being one band, one sound. So I'm excited about the staff for sure.
Okay, Mr. Producer, Brian, if you have the list of the coaches and their positions that they're coaching, and you can put that up, go ahead and put that up. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna go to Mr. Campbell, get his thoughts on this staff and the most important hire.
Well, I'm gonna say this first of all. I want everybody just to listen real quick, just for a few seconds. Can you believe there's no family foolishness for 28 days? Can you believe that? All is quiet in social media. I don't know if Scotty, my boy, went down and took it all with him. But can y'all believe we don't want have you ever seen those signs, like when you go into a warehouse or a restaurant and it say 100 days with no accident? We need to have it.
Touché, do you have your water? Do you have your water? I feel like it's coming. The water's coming.
It's been 28 days.
God, I haven't seen that.
To go on live or off script. I had to find out who people are. So I just had to start with that. I just had to start with that. And
don't jinx us. Exactly.
My biggest thing is, and Kelvin, we've done this show, and my thing is defense wins championships.
Absolutely.
And like I said, we'll go around, but I'm gonna say defense. Because when you sit up here and you got, of course, Ryan Lewis, you got Chris Cash, that was DC. Yes. Hey, DeHaan Mixon, that young man is going to be something great. And please do not sleep. Larry Williams is a DC guy, you know what I'm saying? But even though he's a director of player person that's going to dominate, anytime you got Uncle Luke saying, boy, y'all in trouble down there, I'm just really excited about the defense. Because, of course, we got an offensive coach. But, again, I just don't want to see 40 points ever again.
Ever.
Amen.
In Bragg
Ever.
on the defense.
Ever.
So I'm just, this crew right here, and I'll say my one last thing, is that, and I think, and even with Brian, we were talking about this team is going to tackle. Because one thing about those Alabama State teams, those boys tackled.
Yes.
They hit.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back, because what you're going to see is coaching and teaching of fundamentals. So you're not going to see a guy like, oh, wait a minute, why you didn't tackle? Now you gone 40 yards and stuff like that. So that's what I'm super excited. Excited.
Yes.
Kenwick Thompson is from last year's coaching staff. We've moved on.
Right.
I'm not sure
I'm not sure about that either.
Okay. So Troy.
Oh, we did get 10.
Oh, you figured it out.
He figured it out.
It took a little work, but I had to do what I needed to do in the background. There you go.
He's a genius.
Nice.
All right, Mr. Eyebrow. What you got?
So I kind of agree with Mr. Campbell.
Is that the OJ
on
glove?
the defense. On the defense, but
You finna do some
I
gardening?
I'm
He said
old
that's the
school.
OJ glove. We're gonna be killing him this year. What you mean?
I'm old school. I know the defensive staff we got. We need to get back to bombs over Baghdad. We need to get back to we got more talent than you. Let's go deep. So I'm excited about the offensive staff, specifically Mr. Gray. So I'm excited about the offensive staff.
Okay. All right. J Peeps, what you got?
So for me, I'm excited overall just about the amount of Florida ties that are on this staff. I look at, Larry Williams, like y'all were saying, Uncle Luke was, showing love to him, comes over from Florida. Ryan Lewis, another Florida guy. Funny enough, if I'm not mistaken, Quinn Gray coached in that Florida Classic that Ryan Lewis played in 2010 when Bethune was undefeated. And then, you got Ron Dugans, who was, again, I always say, he was Robin to Peter Warwick's Batman. And then, of course, to, Casey Warming, master recruiter, brought back from the previous staff. Orlando McKinley worked with Willie Simmons, worked with the previous staff, and now he's back with Quinn again. And then, of course, Billy Roll, who, guys like Ryan Stanley, Marcus Williams, Bishop all spoke very highly of. So it's just like so many key pieces that are Florida ties that know how to tap into the counties in this state and can go get kids and are names that kids look at and say, you know what, I want to go play for that guy. Because, when he comes to my school, like I get wide-eyed to see a Ron Dugans or a Quinn Gray or someone like that, just like I get wide-eyed to see somebody at a Power 5 school. So, that says a lot. And, I see why, so many guys decided to withdraw from the portal and come back and join us. So, I'm excited overall, just, the Florida ties, the emphasis on details. And like you said, those Alabama State defenses, they tackled well. So we're going to see a greater effort in tackling. We're going to see more aggressiveness and more viciousness, which is something that definitely lacked last season.
All right, Keith.
Y'all know I don't like to be like everybody else. I love the Reed Sanders hire. Partially because, one, nobody else really said it, but also because I love the fact that Quinn Gray gets to be the head coach and he gets to be the figurehead. He gets to be the CEO. He also gets to be the celebrity coach. I mean, we've heard how many times, I've seen Troy about crash out over folks talking about hire Ed Reed. I don't need no Ed Reed. I got Quinn Gray. Like, I have Quinn Gray. And Quinn Gray moves the needle at a place like FAMU the way that an Ed Reed can't. He can go into the rooms of the Rattlers, not just the rooms of the outside people and other things like that. Where you're talking about the win with Quinn thing and you're approaching the financial goal, though that kind of matters. And when you have the coach that can come out there and not have to focus on being the head coach, the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, and the CEO and recruiting, I think that's just a testament to the vision of one, the coach, the vision of the staff, the athletic director, and those who are supporting athletics. So I'm going to say Reed Sanders partial to be different, but Casey Warman was huge for me. I love that he's back as a full-time tight end coach. I think he's done great things. Yeah. I think he's paid dividends just in recruiting. Like somebody already talked about it, but he was big. And as much as, some folks may not think I do, I actually like the Ron Dugans hire as well, because he is a guy with FAMU ties. Yes, he played at Florida State, but he went to FAMU DRS. So that matters. And that matters in a way where you have multiple coaches on this staff who have either played in Tallahassee or coached in Tallahassee. And that matters when we're talking about recruiting, because there's no reason on this side of heaven that Mississippi Valley State should ever cross the border or the line of the state of Florida and walk out with 4 and 5 recruits and take them back to the state of Mississippi and then turn around and beat us with those same kids.
Amen to that. Gerald, what you got?
Yeah, Keith actually took something I was going to say. I was about to mention just the local ties with Casey Warman being the recruiting coordinator. Tallahassee guy, played at Lincoln. Ron Dugans, of course. I know a lot of people are hype about that hire with him being at Florida State. And then, Coach Gray, he was pretty open about it, at the press conference. He said we can't have Mississippi Valley coming in here and taking our players. And I mean, that showed last game of the season. Jamari Stokes, 3 interceptions, played at Gaston County. How does he get to Valley? Valley got to come get him. So those local ties, I feel like it checked all the boxes. It got the professional, the professional players. It got the defense. I'm excited about how that defense is gonna look, especially with Ryan Lewis, one of the top FCS coordinators, and Chris Cash. He used to play for my team, the Falcons, a long time ago. I was a kid back then, but
our team.
Yeah, but many people, but I don't know if many people realize that Albany State was the number 1 total defense in D2 last year. So you got Cash and you got Lewis, who was leading on Alabama State defense is the number 1 and top 5 finishing in the FCS. I'm ready to see what that defense looking like. I think the dark clouds, that's the formula for the dark clouds to come back, because it's been it's been pretty sunny around here the last couple of years.
Sunny tonight. Marcus, talk to us.
I guess the first thing, I guess other people already mentioned it, but looking at the staff hire overall, we have 4 coaches, one of whom was returning from last year, our last 2 years, Andre Pope, but 4 coaches off the Alabama State defense that was pretty much in the top 5 in FCS the last 2 or 3 years. So that's going to be a big improvement. I've already started my season review in preparation for our season preview, for 2026. And just looking at the NCAA stats, I mean, we fell off a cliff last year, even compared year over year to 2024, when we thought things weren't quite good enough. So that's going to be an improvement. The other thing is looking at how the duties are split up as it relates to recruiting. So we have Casey Warren doing the portal and the JUCO. We have Coach Roll with high school relations. So he's got fingers all across the state and maybe across the state line. And we have David Eggleston as a graduate assistant recruiting. And everyone else is going to bring their footprint of where they've been and the relationships that they've built in South Georgia and other places to help build up the talent on the roster. And we're already seeing in the class of 2027 offers, a lot of whom are down there in South Florida. The other thing is that in terms of hitting the ground running, just having some coaches that Coach Gray has worked with before, in terms of a couple that came from Albany State, so we can implement the program and some of the schemes, and having some players who are in those schemes as well. So there won't be much of a learning curve. So I'm excited about that. I'm interested to see how things work out with the QB coach, because last week I did get a chance to see the interview with Coach Gray, and he mentioned that he wanted to bring someone along who eventually he'll start off kind of immersing himself a little bit in the offensive play call, but someone he's confident can take over, so he won't have to manage that. So I want to see how that translates as it relates to not only the quarterback, Isaiah Knowles, a transfer from Albany State, but also some of the younger quarterbacks that have committed to FAMU, see how those things turns out. But first and foremost, the defensive line coach and all the defensive coaches, I think, are going to be paramount. It was like Tashay said, we did see a turnaround in the offense and a spark in it last year, but the defense just was, total defense, we were probably in the bottom 5 in FCS, if I remember the numbers correctly, and that's unacceptable.
All right, I'm gonna go, Brian, and then I'm gonna let you go last, so you can take back over the hosting. My comment is one, that I really like the fact that these coaches are experienced, successful experience. I think it matters. Man, on this show, if you watch, I said the thing with Coach Curry. I've said the same thing with Coach Bill when she came. Winners win. And so when you bring folks who used to winning and winning at a high level, and they've had the position as coordinators or head coaches, and they've been successful, I just think that translates, number one. Number two, these guys have names within the coaching field, but it's also some of the ones who played pro or coach pro. So those guys in the portal, they know what they were coached and how they were coached last year, and the names there, and they looking at, and some of those guys were like I agree with you with the tight end coach. I thought he was a a good person to keep on, and we were able to keep them. But these guys know, and their coaches and the people they respect, they know who these guys are too, who come to coach them now. So when we go out to recruit, or when we talk about player development, there's no question. You don't see any of our adversaries at other programs saying a word. It's quiet as all get out.
Quiet.
Because everybody understands what we're putting together. We putting together something that could be a monster, could be a dynasty. So in terms of my favorite, given how the last couple of years went, I'm with you all. I think the big hire for me right now, even though it ain't my favorite hire, my favorite hire is a favorite for personal reasons. But the defense coordinator, Ryan, I think was huge, and he had options, right? I'm just glad that Coach Gray is the type and these hires say a lot about Quinn too. The fact that these caliber men would come and work under his leadership, and they're good people. They're really good people. I know a lot of these coaches. And they're good men and good leaders for our players also. So I'm just totally ecstatic by this staff, and I can't wait to see Troy in the fall. I think he's gonna keep most of his hair this time. You can go ahead, Brian.
That'll be a good thing, right? I'm like gonna make sure everybody's all right. Some of y'all, somebody might have some ghetto bird might be hovering around somebody's neighborhood. All right, make sure everything's all right. I know what that sounds like, because I had that thing hovering around my neighborhood about 6 o'clock in the morning the other day, and I was like, "What in the hell's going on outside?" That's the hell.
Hey, Brian, that's ice, bro. That's ice in Atlanta.
I was about to say 6 o'clock in the morning. That's ice to me. That's 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the work. You better stay in your classroom for a few minutes.
Oh, God.
Yak.
Was that Chugga Hall?
Chugga Hall wasn't that bad.
All right.
Jesus.
I guess, for just kind of going through, I want to run. Let me see if I can again pull up the list. Let me figure out how to get that screen again. Okay, here we go. All right. So on the coordinators, again, there you see the coordinators, the defensive coordinator, Ryan Lewis Sr., the co-offensive coordinator / offensive line coach, Nick Suick, and Elijah Haggard, the special teams coach. I saw somebody being very ecstatic about the fact that we may not see those funky pump formations again. So I know folks were excited about that.
I've seen what God's done for others. I'm just saying.
The defensive assistants, of course, Chris Cash over safeties and nickels. Let's see. Andre Pope, who I believe Andre is a returner, correct?
Yes.
He's one of the returning coaches, cornerbacks coach. And the defensive ends, Dahan Mixon. Does anybody find it interesting the level of detail in having a safeties coach, a cornerbacks coach?
No, Brian, stop being nice. That secondary was buns. I'm gonna say it nice, like the children would say.
I'm gonna let you say it. I'm just asking the question. Let you say what you need to say.
That secondary was buns.
Wait, so Brian, restate your question again. You said the significance of the difference.
I was asking I know, obviously. I'm just asking the question: do we find it interesting the fact that now? And I don't recall this from last year, that we have someone over safeties, nickels, and cornerbacks. Obviously, they're all different positions.
Recently, either under Coach either Colsey or
Smith
last year, Coach.
I think it's good. Trust me.
I love it.
It's great.
It's good for the details because I mean, like as much as we say, because I mean we are approaching like the Senior Bowl and the draft and all that and everything. Like if you can play one, you should be able to play all the others. But I mean, if you specialize in one particular type of like position, like if you're a safety, you have to be better at form tackling in open space, much more than a corner. And as a corner, if you're out there, you have to know how to be able to turn a play back inside towards your defensive end, the nickel back. If you're a nickel, you're basically blitzing off that nickel position. So they all basically present certain types of traits, I want to say. But again, a DB should be able to play all of them.
Okay.
Hey Brian, can I let me
Go ahead.
I think that's a great question. And I think the question Tasha answered, but I want to expound on why this is important. There's a reason why that $1.2 million salary coaching group money is important for a situation like this. Because while you can have guys basically their name next to position, you got guys that are actually worth the price of that position now. So when you going out there, like I say, give credit. Hey, we didn't have AD. Shout out to Angela Suggs. Shout out to Marvin Johnson. Say, you know what? We hear you. And we've got to make sure, because what did we hear from previous? We don't have this. We don't have that. Well, guess what? We got this and we got that. And when you got $1.2 million, you can go tell a guy, hey, I want you to specifically be, instead of going to D2 and being the defensive coordinator, you can come be our safeties coach. You can come be our nickels coach. You could be at FAMU and build from there. And that's why I think this money, and I'm going to keep saying that 1.2, when I got caught wind of that, we was dealing in, because goes back to the thing with Ryan Lewis. Ryan Lewis don't come to FAMU unless we say, they give you what? We got this. And you can't have this if you didn't have the $1.2 million. So to your point, I think that's what the importance of is, not so much as guys can play different positions, is that you're going to make sure that guys know how to play the position that they're assigned to first. Okay? So that's why I wanted to really point that out, why that's so important.
And that money matters when you're also speaking of like having people who've been successful in different places. Like, I'm not trying to be a homer, but as much as grief is, we definitely give AD Davis for his lack of experience as the athletic director. He's been successful in business. I mean, I'm not trying to say that because he's frat, not saying that because of church, but you go back and follow his background. If you can go back and catch it. We had him on the show with St. Clair Moraine last week, and I went back and I was like, the dude's won national championships as a player. He's ran, he has business acumen. And if he can bring that business acumen to FAMU, that's going to be a net gain. Now, is it guaranteed? No. But is it something to where you have somebody who can give us a freaking vision? That's huge, because honestly, when was the last time FAMU's had an AD with a financial vision that was allowed to do it? I think AD Suggs had a financial vision. I don't think she was given the time to really lock it in step. But I would damn near say Milton Overton is probably the last person that we saw had a real financial vision, and that didn't just throw money in the building fund. And I'm sorry, I love the Rattler Athletic Fund as much as the next person, but it ain't doing SHI to the T a lot of times from our perspective when it comes to changing doorknobs and us seeing this tangible stuff. And so it's got to get to a place where if we're going to have these people bringing in these kind of funds, they got to give us something on the field. Coach talked about putting up lights and putting up some of these stuff. You just heard Coach Shoup say, we're getting a turf field. I don't know how many times I've been to FAMU baseball games and the baseball coaches are dragging the field. That's high school stuff. That's flat out BS. And so to have somebody with some vision that can hopefully deliver, it matters. I'm cheering for you, Phi. It's not just because you frat, because it's really about FAMU of all that stuff. But we need somebody who's going to deliver and who's going to bring some of that stuff home. And like you said, Mr. Campbell, having that kind of budget gives us a difference and give us an edge. And, when you have ADs who have the mindset of saying, hey, we need to bring in the Fang Exchange, I think he's the first person to really embrace it. Like, we need this type of leadership. Hopefully we can keep this going.
It's definitely because he's frat. Because Brian asked, why do we have a Nichols and a DB coach? Because how did we get to that, Keith? You just wanted to shout out your friends. Okay.
I didn't know that was Mr. Campbell. That was Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell started that. Mr. Campbell started that, dog.
Listen, I'm gonna let you have that. Thank you.
Boy, she shot one over about it.
And you went on your Cap outside soliloquy. Boy, now I'm gonna say this. Now we wish him well, but he didn't have nothing to do with that 1.2. That already came, bro.
He was nowhere near around.
J5, man.
That man was nowhere around.
Come on, man.
It's always J5.
Now, Key, I'm gonna tell you this. Now,
He gonna take credit like another AD.
When that 10G clear, then you can say, now I heard it's coming. Now when that 10G clear, now you come back on here and do that. That's what we gonna get. But that 1.2, I'm gonna give it to Tasha. That was a Delta AK connection. We gonna do D9, okay?
Let me
we don't want to
yeah. Thank you. That's all right. That's all right though. I feel refreshed now after my sip of tea. Let me move to the offense here, just in case people want to see again. The offensive assistants, the wide receiver coach is Ron Dugans. As mentioned, also formerly on the last staff, the recruiting coordinator / tight ends coach, Casey Warming. And we've already mentioned Nick as well, but he'll also be serving as the offensive line coach. Then you've got the director of football operations is Larry Williams. / chief of staff, director of football ops / chief of staff is Larry Williams, and Billy Roll returns back to the program as the player personnel / high school relations coach, and then the support staff Orlando McKinley, who will work as an assistant on special teams, and a defensive backs coach, Mikey Victor, defensive quality control / Nichols coach, and Brendan Deanda, an offensive assistant as well.
Let me
Brian, one thing I want to say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, the Billy Roll and Larry Williams, Rattlers, both have worked as coaches and GAs at the university also. Both are legends in their own way, but Billy is of course, a championship caliber legend. Larry, I believe, was on the Gator staff last year.
Yep.
In some capacity, but he's really connected throughout the state. Billy is, Quinn is from the South Florida area too. Ryan is from the South Florida area. I really feel like, and Quinn mentioned it, we're gonna probably lock down some top-notch talent throughout this state and South Georgia, since Quinn was in that area. The profile of this staff is built to do just that.
Mm-hmm.
The players we want that ain't going, Power 4, we'll have a great opportunity to get those players. And if this running back thing is announced and don't change, that's just going to add to that.
Mm-hmm. And what I was going to add was that the staff that's been assembled, and I know we'll be looking a couple years down the road, but if you think when Coach Simmons was here, that there are a lot of assistants who went on and got promoted either in the pros or other college programs, either lateral moves in FCS or FBS. And I could see Coach Gray, by the way he's assembled this staff, if he's having that in mind, because you want to have a place, a coaching staff, but not only a place of work where you can feel like you can get promoted. And I think that he's setting us up for that. Not that we want anyone to leave, but you look at the acumen of the staff, the relative youth of the staff, and the expertise that they bring. It's only a feather in our cap to say that you can get promoted from here and go to the next level, and then bring in another talented young coach or talented coach to come in and backfill that position. The other thing, I guess, to Kelvin mentioned, and I know I don't think I mentioned this on air, but I sent something in a separate chat, like you mentioned, South Georgia. And I didn't realize until 2 weeks ago, I didn't know the landscape, even though I'm from Georgia, from Atlanta, but I didn't realize how close some of those counties with South Georgia counties are to the state line that have championship level programs in terms of Thomas County, Brooks County, I think it's Colquitt County, and there's another one I can't remember, but it's like
Lowndes.
Lowndes.
Yeah, Lowndes.
I mean, they're like literally right there. And I asked y'all, Kelvin and Brian, I was like, how do we not get top players or even some of the other players that don't make it the G5? How did they not end up in Tallahassee with that proximity? So I think Quinn and everyone else being there will address that.
Also the transfer portal too. Like you can't discount, like, let's be honest, the University of Miami has had a pipeline to Valdosta for a little while. Like I you know, not to mention the Ibis, or I cannot stand that darn Ibis, but they've had a pipeline to those schools. So those kids are skipping over Tallahassee all in general. They're not going to Florida State or FAMU. They're going as far south as possible.
The GM position that was previously mentioned, and I appreciate Via Matt for bringing that up in the chat. Does any of these positions look like they may turn into the GM position, or do we still think that is a position to come? Anyone have any thoughts or insight?
Larry Williams.
Larry Williams.
But that was the one question I was thinking about in terms of the GM. And if I was able to get on last week with Coach Quinn, I would have asked him that question in terms of having to deal with, for lack of a better term, player negotiations. Because we're seeing now on social media, all these players are having agents, NIL agents. And as a head coach, that could be a distraction. But if we're going to follow the pro model, get a person who's going to negotiate with them, be in lockstep with the head coach, like this is a player we want to get, or this is someone we're not going to get, but not that he has to focus on that. And even I think 2 weeks ago when he was on the 220 QB club, he said he was a little bit late because he had to answer some question because somebody said, what's up with, I heard somebody got this and got that. And that's just a distraction. So eventually that GM role is going to become even more prominent at our level. And we're going to have to address that sooner rather than later so that the coaches can manage the on the field stuff and you have someone doing that negotiation stuff and you just make sure you're in lockstep.
But let me ask this. Oh no, go ahead, Ashley, because I was gonna let y'all, I was gonna come to you and Tasha because I wanted you to maybe touch on that for a moment.
Based on conversation, is Larry Williams for sure. It's Larry Williams. And yeah, that's and to your point, Marcus, is believe it or not, has already met us talking about agents.
Right.
We know agents and representation, and even just a player coming to FAMU, not even talking money, just placement, because agents are doing that as well. It's getting players opportunities to be on a roster, just the basics. So it has met our level finally, and Larry Williams appears to currently, for now, play that role and to help Coach Quinn in that manner.
Okay. And in the broader scope, the question is, would there be a central GM for the entire athletic department, or do you have delineation to deal with different sports? But that's another topic for another day.
You beat me to the punch. I was thinking that. I was thinking,
that's a lot of schools are doing that. Are doing that just in general. I don't know if we are in at that space. Things trickle for us. We don't always do it as soon as everybody else does it, but it's certainly not a horrible idea when you consider if we're going to get into the rev share and if we're going to, as a university, and those kind of things, you need it.
I have some thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll just say that although we may not have the role actually marked out, just from our experience, each program that at least Ashley and I have dealt with, they kind of have someone that they have designated, whether that be an assistant coach or just somebody that's closer to the program that they have kind of designated to be in that role. Like basketball, we kind of communicate with someone. Yeah, we communicate with someone that is not the coach, that kind of knows the coach's vision, knows what the coach wants, and can allow the coach to kind of deal with the X's and O's and deal with the business side. So although we may not have the position that's actually it's not salaried or something like that, pretty much all the coaches have somebody that they kind of designated to do that kind of business.
And what I was going to add, and Tasha kind of touched on it. Really, you're only talking two sports,
Right.
And I know that Charlie. I know there was some thoughts when he first got a job, and I'm sure that they'll be there. I know he has a designee or someone who's dealing with it, but I wouldn't be surprised after the season if you have a dedicated gym for men's basketball. And I don't see a situation here at FAMU where there'll be a centralized person. Those two revenue generating sports gonna want people who's specific to them and dealing with their coaches and players and the people they got to negotiate with directly. So that's what I would anticipate what it's going to look like moving forward.
Agreed.
Last question or thought here regarding our segment on the coaching hires. Comparing this staff on paper to the best staff of any other FAMU / HBCU / FCS staff, is it too early to make those kind of projections, or what do you think about this staff? And as you think about who is that comparison for you, so I'll go around the horn. I'll saw a couple people shaking their heads early, so I'm gonna start with Troy.
This is not a homer answer, and I've vacillated on this answer for a while. Ron Duggins, because of what he was as a player. I don't know if anybody paid attention to that national championship team. On third down, we stopped throwing to Peter Ward because he was dropping the ball. We was throwing to 6'4" plus Ron Duggins. That was our third down guy. If we can get third down production from our wide receivers better than we did last year, that'll be an improvement on me. Now it's not gonna compare to the Billy Joe era. No, I'm not gonna get crazy. But in this time span that we're in now, this is gonna be a really good squad.
Jay Peeps.
So for me, it's when I look at this staff, it's like, yeah, I think yes, this is an upgrade from last year, 100%. Definitely. You're gonna see more like consistency, attention to details, all that. Now, as far as like where they rank and all this and compared to somebody else, for me, it's just we gotta crawl before we can walk, and then we gotta walk before we run. So for me, it's like prove it to me August 29th, and then again prove it to me September 6th, and then again the week after that. Bring me, a set number of wins before I can crown you and say that was like just a memorable staff. Which I think they have the potential to be that, but it's just, I need to see you in action. I need to see like how do you make in-game adjustments? How are you coaching these guys in practice? How are you breaking down film to these guys? That it's just little things I need to see like in game and off the field before I can really crown them and give them that title.
Gerald, let me hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, the staff is very intriguing on paper. I mean, you just never know until, like you said, they get it out and play it on the field. But I mean, I like the dynamic of it. I'm really interested to see what the team will really lean on, because I feel like it has a strong defensive coaching staff, but also it's very strong offensively too. So I'm ready to see how that dynamic is going to work out. And see if FAMU is scoring a lot of points or stopping other offenses, or a little bit of both. It might change up, on a week-to-week basis. But, it's a good staff on paper. And, I mean, I think we all know that, all the hires wasn't announced neither. So, it's a position on there that's missing. But yeah, I'm ready to see how they gonna work with this thing. I guess we'll get a sneak peek of it during the spring. Spring started in less than a month, so I'm ready to see how I go.
I say,
to be fair, I don't want to compare them to, especially not like Billy Joe or anybody, because for this reason, no other, even going back as close as Willie Simmons, nobody has had to deal with what these coaches in this current climate have to deal with as far as sports, NIL, transfer portal, this ever evolving. Although the the transfer portal and NIL was a thing with Willie Simmons, just using him, but I mean, we know Willie Simmons himself said that we didn't have to worry about NIL, right? This era, the way that things are changing every week, and Ashley and I are, even Marcus is sending us stuff. Everything is changing, and I think the attitude centered around the portal and NIL and how the athletes respond in high school and all that stuff. I don't want to compare because it's something different. They have to be different coaches. So I don't want to compare. I'm going to say on paper, I think that they have an impressive resume collectively, all of them. But I'm going to agree with someone in the comments. I think, ultimately the story of who they are as coaches will come down to who they get to come in and play and how it plays out for the season.
Okay. Mr. Campbell?
I can answer this a little bit differently, and this is because, guess what? I'm part of HBCU Coaches Corner. So I have actually interviewed 90% of all the coaching staffs in the SWAC, the MEAC, the SI, and the CIAA. So I've literally talked to coaches at this stage where Quinn Gray is and senior staff. And what I will say, and I can say this with a lot of confidence, past performance can predict future production. Yep. And because of with this staff, if I go and look, we were the first people to interview Tremaine Jackson. We looked at his staff, and Coach Cole said, they're going to win. We interviewed Chennisberry when he moved up. And Coach Cole looked at that staff, you're going to win. I have got nothing but text after text after text from people that are in the industry that say that staff is a good staff. So to your point, will we know when it comes to wins and losses? No, we don't can predict that. But what I will say, and I'll use this because I think it's obvious, and I'll pick a staff. When people looked at Deshaun Jackson versus Michael Vick, right? Coach Cole immediately looked at the coach and said, what Delaware State got? And people that win to know, you're going to see them move. When people looked at Michael Vick's staff, and it kind of proved to be true. So when you're looking at our staff from top to bottom, we've all mentioned it, where we've got guys, our defensive backs coach led the #1 defense in the SIAC. We got Ryan Lewis for multiple years from defense. You're talking about Ron Dugas that have put guys into the pros. So these sort of things make you feel confident when you start looking at, and for me who has talked to these coaches and looked at their staffs, because one of the things too, what I also like is the youthful energy of the staff. Mm-hmm. These boys will go get these, I think one of the things Bishop Bonnet said when he talked about Willard was, I won't say what Bishop said. I'll just say he was one of us, right? Mm-hmm. You can see this with this staff, with these guys already hitting the streets. And I think EA will tell you the best thing about it, and I get this call all the time, people are trying to get in contact with our staff. I didn't get that. I didn't have nobody checking for us like that. Okay?
That's true.
So I want that to be clear where what we're separating. I know we don't know we're going to go 12-0 whatever to JP point, but I'm talking about the measurement where we're at right now. I can confidently say, because I did interview all these staffs and talk to coaches all the time, where we're at right now, man, listen, because I tell you, I'm going to say this again. Southern's got a new staff. They had 945,000. Our staff is ringing bells. Mm-hmm. Southern's got guys, but we got coaches. There's a difference. And I'm just saying, two staffs, no disrespect, but people in the industry, when they're looking at Southern, what they're put together, you kind of say, oh, well, that's a name. When you're looking at Ryan Lewis, that's a coach. Yeah. When you're looking at Billy Joe, that's a coach. When you look at Rock, see, that's what I keep hearing. That's a coach. That's a coach, not a name. And I'd rather have coaches than names.
Wow. Mic drop. Follow that up, Keith. What you got?
Anytime, all times, man. Come on, you ain't got to get ready and stay ready. But no, I mean, to me, it's the comparables. Like, what are your comparables? Like, I'm sorry, I don't see many other teams that are comparable to Florida A&M University's coaching staff. It ain't even all that other stuff, history, legacy, and all that other stuff. We got that. But when I start looking from head coach down, what are your comparables within this conference other than Southern, maybe Jackson State? There's no other school in the conference when I start looking at coaching staff success on the field, off the field, not just, as Mr. Campbell said, not just names, actually success. Like, we ain't talking about names and what your name is and what your name brought in. No, we're talking about what you've done. This is always the business of what have you done for me lately. But when I look through that FAMU staff and what I'm seeing this year, I'm seeing a lot of people who've done it. And so I say it proudly. I think 8 wins. I'll say it right now. You can strike it. I don't care. I said last year, hey, this is going to depend on the quarterback. Guess what? I said the quarterback stuck from game 1 to game end. And guess what? It hung on the quarterback. This year, you got a coaching staff. It's better. They're going to realize who can and cannot play. You can bet an eyebrow on it. I'll bet 2. 7 to 8 wins. It's going to make a difference. Coaching matters. The skill set matters. And when you have an amalgamation, I saw the word Voltron, but I got to use them big words because it's a show off of this FAMU degree that my parents and I spent this money on. But we have an amalgamation of talent and a justification in a strong juxtaposition of this stuff we had last year. So
who?
I'm saying all that.
What'd you call me?
So I'm saying all that to say this. We got a real strong roster. We got a strong team. And you start looking at some of the players they brought back. Hey, y'all kept saying we got a real strong defensive staff. Start looking at the offensive talent we brought back, though. Because you got an offensive mastermind and you got some offensive talent. And I'm just saying, you might be trying to address the fact that, hey, when spring practice come in, that offense might be ahead of that defense, and we're gonna have to see if we can match them up. Because I promise you, if that defense this year meets the skill level of the coaching that it has, it's gonna be some fun in Bragg Stadium this year.
Hey, can I piggyback on one thing that Keith said? And I think this is what people, to your point about what we have, when you look at the conference and look at who we got transferring in as a quarterback, we're going to have one of the most, if he potentially becomes a starter because he was an all-conference player, we're going to have an experienced quarterback. We're not going to have a guy that just transferred in and we hope he can play. This is what I'm talking about, not names, production. So when you start looking at the conference, so you look at Lockhart at Jackson State, Andrew Bonnie most likely is coming back to Alabama State. We'll see what Sam Shea with his quarterback because he was injured coming back. But now all of a sudden, we're going to have an experienced quarterback that knows the offense. That's going to mean something when I'm talking about coaching and things like that. To Keith's point, where now you got guys that now we ain't got to go all the way through the spring, all the way through the summer, and because they haven't been here, don't know the offense, and we got to water down offense. So I just want to point out because that's very important what we're bringing back and what we got coming in.
Ashley, go ahead.
I don't know who I should be comparing the coaches to based on the original question. Internal coaches, external, outside coaches. What I can tell you is that I'm just confident that the Tucker Hall defense and the Butterfinger wide receivers are a thing of the past. That's where my confidence lies. And it's not about Jimmy's and Joe's. It's about the coaches and the bros. We got some coaches. They got a resume and put some things on the field that will give us more like this offseason. I am very peaceful about what's happening in that field house. Now we still have to see it play out. We still have to see the continual recruiting and all the things, but I have confidence. I am not like, oh, what if? I recognize there's some things we need in some places. We need to fill some holes and spots in. That's just what it is. I'm not lost on that. But am I worried? When I look at the resume, Mr. Campbell just said it. We got some coaches. And that's what gives me peace to say we got some coaches. And as an ex-athlete, I've seen the lesser talented athlete have more production because the coach coached them up. It's not always about you got to be, you need some talent. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But if a coach can coach, they'll make it happen.
Hello, Indiana.
Hello.
Yeah, literally.
Marcus.
Yeah, I guess my sentiments are kind of lie with some of the earlier comments that, we have to see it. We have to see the rubber hit the road. But in terms of past success and the potential from what we've seen and what we know about the coaches, with the exception of the young man who's actually, I guess he had a cup of tea with the pros, Mikey Victor, but everyone else we've seen coach before, they're coming from a successful program or moving up the ranks in the coaching profession. So we know that we have high expectations and we have confidence that they'll meet those expectations. So, but I don't have any comparison because we don't have anything quantitative to measure against yet.
Gotcha. Kelvin, wrap up with you.
Yeah, so this is based on potential, right? This has nothing to do with what they've done here, but what they have done is elsewhere. And so I'm gonna approach it like this. I think about some of the great staffs and coaching trees because I'm a big coaching tree guy. And I think about the staff when Alcorn was making all those runs, and who was on that staff, and how many of them ended up being coaches, head coaches, and been successful. I think about Broadway at A&T and some of the guys he had on that staff, and same thing. A lot of those guys left and were successful. That's how Willie's staff is similar to. He had a couple of them that went pro staffs and everything. So that's the caliber of staff I see it as on paper as of right now. You've got guys who collectively, like we come here collective as the Avengers and bring out different talents, and people like to see us together because they appreciate what we bring to the table. That's how I see our staff, this football staff. I see it as a family Avengers football, and so I anticipate greatness. As expectations are high, expectations should be high, and like I say, winners win. So we'll see, but this is a very good, strong staff.
Hey, Brian, can I just, because we're talking about coaches and Marcus, because we've talked about the big names, right? All the names and stuff. But Marcus I'm going to talk about Mike and Victor because we didn't get to that, but I want to make a point. Why you hire a guy like Mike and Victor, because you got Coach Lewis and Cash. They're going to be on these kids' ass, right? Just because that's what coaches do. But you got a guy that's going to be able to pull those young guys and say, hey, listen, that guy coached me. That guy coached me, get me to the NFL. Let me explain to you what we're trying to do. And he's played at a very high level. So he's going to be a great buffer between the coaches to the young guys when there's maybe an additional message that needs to be put out because he actually performed and he just did this recently. So I think, again, when you look at those type of hires, to Kelvin's point of that tree, you bring in a guy that says, you know what? I just recently coached him. He played at a high level. He was an all-swag guy. Now I got him. So if I need that additional, after practice, he's going to be the guy out there with those guys. So I just think Marcus just made a great point of the depth of this staff. And I just want to point that out why that's a great hire.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said. All right. I know it seems odd, but let's take a break. Give everybody a chance to either run to the bathroom, get a drink, and come back on the other side and talk about this exciting 12-game schedule that you see on the screen from left and right. So we'll go through the schedule and talk about some of our favorite games, talk about this amazing home schedule with, if I count it right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home games. That's right, 6. Wow. 6 home games.
3 more in the state.
3 more in the state. So, I mean, we're talking over 3/4 of the season right here in the state of Florida. So we'll talk about that. And then, of course, folks are already putting out projections. Not going to say
Gerald.
who, but Gerald, speaking of, one question here from JT. JT's kind of encouraged here. JT is saying, so we won't have to see any 3 articles a week talking about who would be Sugar Man. Is that true? Can we confirm or what can you say to that question there, Gerald?
I don't know nothing.
You
They
you'll
ran
have
my
to
boy
find
raggedy last season.
find
With
other
the
new story ideas this go around, Gerald. I guess is
you
what
should have had
JT
plenty
said.
last year.
Well, he
Well, at
did.
least Gerald will probably come to practice this year and find out.
Wow.
On that note,
Another shot.
we will take a break. You mean we might actually talk to players this year?
Wow.
Yeah, y'all throwing shots.
I'm sorry.
I did it for you, Gerald, because I knew you couldn't say it.
Yes,
I'm glad you said
did.
it because
Steve started that.
I did.
I'm gonna go to a short break and come back on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network, talking about the 2026 football schedule coming up on the other side.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2026? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 30th to February 1st, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. It's the team. It's the Avengers. As everybody's here, Brian, Kelvin, Keith, Mr. Campbell, Keith, Ashley, Troy, JP, Sashay, and GT3 in the house. All right, everybody's excited about the 2026 football schedule. You know, first off, shout out to Coach Gray dropping the coaching staff when he dropped it, where he dropped it. You know, the football schedule coming out. Gotta be careful here. Let's just say, you know, look, it's already drinking water. A lot of people were
I'm glad you're drinking water. I'm not.
Yeah, well, look at you. Good for you.
This Wednesday night.
Seems like it's Wednesday
5
night.
o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Seems
true.
like that. The schedule seemed to be floating around, and some might say the NNN for probably about a good week before it actually dropped. Yeah, something like that. It was running around out there. We ended up being the second school to actually officially drop their schedule. Alabama A&M was the first school to drop it, and then we officially dropped it. Was it Monday? Was it Monday when it dropped? Monday afternoon, something like that.
It says the 26th.
Officially.
Right, officially. That key word there, officially. So as wait a second, hold on. Why we still got Gerald? Okay, that's not supposed to happen. All right,
Gerald.
Another way how to do that.
Gerald got highlighted. That's all.
All right, Gerald got highlighted. I gotta figure out nothing against you, Gerald.
I say just leave him there.
Gerald would be the first person.
They gotta face me the whole season at the end of the game.
Gerald would be the first one to get highlighted. I'm just saying that ain't right.
Yeah. Stop it. All right, here we go. We opened the season in what is technically week 0 on the college football schedule. August 29th, a home game against the Albany State Rams. So Coach Gray gets to welcome in his former team to brag on week 0. Then the Rattlers will travel to South Florida. It's believed that it's the Orange Blossom Classic. It says neutral site against South Carolina State on September 6th. I believe that is a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Correct?
It is.
Correct.
It is a Sunday, which means that the OBC is back on Sundays. So that's a good thing for them. Then what's also interesting is that the Rattlers will stay down in South Florida, and they will play a second game in that Hard Rock Stadium, the site of the national championship game, against the national runner-up on a Thursday. So that'll be interesting. We'll talk about that in a moment, I'm sure. Then the Rattlers will have about 9 days off. We'll come back home and play. Wow, welcome back, Tennessee State, to the schedule. It will be at Bragg on September 19th. It's been put out there in multiple places that it's a 2-year deal. I haven't read all the particulars about it, so Gerald or anybody feel free to jump in here. But it is a return trip to Tennessee State, to Nashville, I believe, in 2027. Then we begin SWAC play, hosting Alabama A&M at home on September 26th. And then we travel after a bye week. Then we travel to Alabama State, October 10th. Any word on if that's their homecoming?
No,
theirs is the 5th. The first Saturday.
Okay, so it will not be their
always
homecoming.
the first Saturday.
Oh, always. Okay, didn't know that. All right. And then we travel back to Jackson, Mississippi, October 17th to take on Jackson State. That'll be an interesting game. Following
birthday,
that,
birthday, eyebrows, and mullet. That's what that game is.
Whose birthday? Yours?
Mine.
Oh,
Nice.
Lord have mercy. Wow. Okay. Well, there we go. I can't wait for that one. Then we come back home after a 2-game road trip. We come back. I believe that is homecoming, October 24th against UAPB.
This weekend.
Yeah. And then Halloween against the Jaguars. That should be a fun Halloween in Tallahassee. Boy, that's going to be a scary game for the Jaguars. No
Plus,
pun
the Tigers going to be in town playing Florida State that same weekend, too.
God, that's going to be
Is the Fair going to be in town that weekend, too?
Fair don't start typically now to the first first Thursday in November.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have 3 conflicts, or not 3 conflicts, 3 weekends where we have games with FSU and FAM at home.
I'm willing to bet that the FAMU Southern game is going to have more intrigue behind it than Florida State and Clemson. I feel like Mike Norvell might not even be employed by Halloween.
I'm about to say
Game 3. He'll be going by game 3.
Wow, that's the prediction.
Yeah, he may not make it. He may not crawl out of Tuscaloosa.
I'll be interested to hear your guys' opinions on the times of that weekend in games a little bit later here. But let me finish up. We move into November, traveling to Lorman, Mississippi, to take on the Braves, Alcorn State. Then we welcome back Valley. Oh Lord, dare I say, a must-win game. November 14th, back in Bragg, last game, home game of 6. And then, of course, the neutral site in Orlando against Bethune. There is your 2026 schedule. All right, guys. Nope, there we go. Favorite games. Let's go around the horn. Let's hear your favorite games. Gerald, what's your favorite game on the schedule, or games on the schedule?
Favorite games. I always love the Family versus Southern matchup. That's always a game I look forward to, just because it's like it gives you kind of a homecoming junior type of vibe. Because I mean, Southern would never be a family homecoming just because it brings the crowd already. I can just pick one. Or I can pick another one.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, you pick more than one.
Another one. I'll say the South Carolina State game. Having that game early just to kind of see how this team with Quinn Gray, their first 2 games, their first Division I game, having them go up against the defending Black College champions, it kind of shows where they are as a team. And I mean, I'm gonna say I'm going to spoil it and say I'll put that game will be a loss. But if you go out there and have a good showing, that can prove that y'all got something brewing over at FAMU if you're able to play up against those Chennisberry, South Carolina State Bulldogs games. So those are the 2 games I'm really looking forward to.
All right, Tasha, your favorite games on the schedule?
My favorite game, hands down, without a question, is the Tennessee State game. The Atlanta Classic made me fall in love with Atlanta when I was on the Hill years ago. Okay, so that game, that renewed rivalry, I cannot wait until that game, and it is home and home, from what I understand. So we'll be playing them at home, and then I'll say my next favorite game probably is going to be the South Carolina State game as well, the OBC. I don't think they'll bring a lot of fans, but it's at home for me in Miami, so I love the OBC. It's a good time. It's feel good. So those are my top 2 games.
All right, Jay Peeps, your favorite games?
So my favorite games, I'm gonna go in order here. September 6th, Orange Blossom Classic. Looking forward to that. You got the defending HBCU national champs in your state. You're facing off against them. Plus, Labor Day weekend in Miami. Who doesn't love the beach, mojitos, and football, of course.
You doing all
we're
that.
We're the away team though, so it's gonna be hot. Y'all better leave the mojitos at home because that side of Hard Rock Stadium will burn
true.
you out of here.
That's true. That's why we're gonna have mojitos after the game. And we're gonna have them on Saturday as well. But also too, I'm gonna say Tennessee State because that rivalry it's been gone for far too long. I was at the Tampa Classic, and we almost thought that the game wasn't even gonna happen because there were so many people that swore Ray J was gonna be underwater, but thankfully the game got played. But we owe them. We owe them one because it's been a minute since we last beat them. And then, of course, looking at Jackson State, that's going to be a battle.
I wouldn't put it up there.
My Lord.
Wait, what? I don't know.
I was on mute. Wasn't me.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to keep on going. I don't even know what's happening right now. But, I mean, outside of homecoming, of course, too, you look at the Southern game. Of course, Halloween and Bragg. I think that's going to be an exciting one. That's also a rivalry. And then, of course, Florida Classic there at the end. We owe them. All I'm going to say is just, eat, sleep, beat the hell out of Bethune. Repeat.
All right, go ahead, Troy.
I don't have one game. I don't have 2 games. I got 3. So first off, Orange Blossom Classic. white linen got parties and that crew that say they want to run me one because they got beaten Tallahassee the last time and they blamed it on the refs, you lost.
They did.
But come on down. Let's enjoy some conch salad.
Yeah.
The Tennessee State game for tradition. The most black national championships in all of HBCU. Those are the two blue bloods for real. I wish it was more at stake, but again, it's a rivalry of sorts. So yeah, let's get it. And then, like I said, for them people who swear to God they don't know what mullet fish is, for them people who I couldn't get to Jackson for my birthday the last time because of a hurricane, because I lost an eyebrow because of them. Like I said, it's gonna be smoked mullet, eyebrow bets, and birthday celebrations. And we're gonna hug it out after everything over with because I want to know where the blues joint is before I leave. Them my 3 games.
Are you talking about Jackson, Troy?
Yes, I am.
Are you going?
Yes.
Okay, we going. Me and Ashley went last time. We had a good time too, didn't we, Ashley?
Sure did.
Sounds like we might need to reserve Johnny T's for the post game celebration, right?
Yep.
Well, that's
not
not like
be a
a
takeover.
Yeah, I'm in. Sponsor of the Off Script channel, so now we got to go to M Bar. I get paid from the M Bar, so now y'all got to come to the M Bar. Shout out to the M Bar.
Wherever there it is. Okay.
Got to get the channel sponsor.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, you could keep the mullet. I'm good on that.
What?
Oh my God!
What is
We're
going
gonna talk about
on?
that later.
That's
All right,
okay. It's
I ain't had mullet in a while.
Wow.
Mullet.
Ashley, favorite games.
So, absolutely Tennessee State. That just brings back all the memories and nostalgia. No question about it. Super excited to see that one. That one was a surprise for me too.
Yeah.
Although, we kind of heard and knew rumblings of some games we would or wouldn't play, but Tennessee State totally surprised me. Super excited about that one. I'm going to say something that's probably off the rails, so to speak, that everybody else is saying, but I'll say I really do like the Albany State game because it gives an opportunity to see what we have, who we are before we go and play those defending national champions at that OBC. And I just like the genius of Coach Quinn to even go ahead and put that in there. Of course, and it's a good game against a good D2 program. His previous program, so many storylines. Jerry, you have plenty of articles to write when it comes to that game and week 0. But then I just like the fact that it gives us a chance to come into my next choice, which would be the OBC. South Carolina State is also always a good and fun team to play and go up against and talk trash with. Gives that we're feeling real MEAC-ish this year. It's feeling real MEAC-ish with some of the people, extra games we have on there that are, non-SWAC. So those are probably, I named pretty much 3, 2.5, South Carolina State at OBC, Tennessee State. And then I like the implications of putting that Albany State game at a week 0.
No mullet, Ryan. No mullet.
Mullet sandwich, Tashay. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Mullet sandwich. Hot sauce. White
fresh out the grease.
Fresh out the grease, exactly. Keith, go ahead. Best games, favorite games.
South Carolina State is up there, and it's for multiple reasons. One, is South Carolina State, but 2, their band director is a Florida A&M University graduate, Dr. Jamal Nicholas, also a graduate of the Great Jones High School here in Orlando, Florida, and a friend of mine. So I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing 2 FAMU graduate band directors go at it, and that's excites me. It's not just because Jamal is a friend, but just seeing that and kind of somebody who has come through and understands that FAMU motion. So he's going to be taking that and adding a little bit, to whatever South Carolina State does, besides, pass the P's and everything else. Tennessee State, because the Marching 100 owes them one. Last time we was in Tampa, they kind of won that begrudgingly. I was there. And Valley, I need my lick back. I'm sorry. Like, Valley got a winning streak on FAMU. I need my lick back. Like, Florida Classic is the Florida Classic. That's always going to be there. But I need my lick back against Valley. And I need it by 40.
Is this Troy doing this?
Got
a lot of things going on tonight.
The helicopter to get her bird.
Hey, listen, I'm not pressing no
Troy,
buttons,
I'm
so that
blaming
wasn't
you.
me.
Troy, I'm blaming you.
I bet you got roosters in your neighborhood too, don't you?
Everything in his
Oh my
neighborhood. He
God,
got
you don't
everything in his
even know.
Steve, what's your favorite games of the schedule?
Man, listen, it starts and stops. I've got a couple, but listen, we came into the conference when this school brought in a guy from Florida, and this guy, and you was the standard bearer game until we fell off for a year. But man, listen, that Jackson State FAMU game, and I talked to Doc. The Marching 100 will be in the building. I said, if I got to put them all on my Escalade, they got to be in the vet because they was in the vet last year. 2 years ago, we would have won that game. So it's got to be Jackson State and FAMU. But then after that, I'm super excited because my guy just 1-0. We just want to go 1-0. So you got Chennis Berry down in Miami. So man, we can go 2-0, 2-0, and stop the world. And then, as somebody old school, and it was mentioned, I'm happy not for us, but I'm happy for Tennessee State because they have been wanting FAMU to get back on this schedule for a long time. And it's not the game for us, it's for the game when we go up there while they're going to be excited. For the Marching 100 to come to Nashville, been a long time. I know we played in that, but I remember when we would have to go to Nashville. I go old school back then. And that is a big, big game. And then last but not least, and I'm going to say this, and I done told Coach Quinn this, I cannot believe it. Valley, 70. I need 70. I need cannons. I need people that ain't even supposed to play in that game. Because for the fact that Mississippi Valley has a 2-game winning streak, Crazy. Do you realize that only maybe one other team in this conference that has a 2-game winning streak, and that's Jackson State on us? Think about that, what I just said. The only other school in this conference that has a 2-game winning streak is Jackson State University.
And
so no, we got to put 70 on that. And T-Buck is my guy. And, hey, I know he's gonna do great things, but I'm sorry. That right there, because that we got to end that. Because that alone, and people and Brian, we're all in these chats when we get on there on that coaches call on Monday, and that's all we used to just you know what I'm saying? Let that man cook. Now we done cooked that, we got to cook something else now. So no, I'm sorry.
They be in the chat. They be in the chat saying FAMU and Valley, the new rivalry. Of the
exactly. That's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. That is, and I'm saying as somebody old school, that is so disrespectful.
It is.
Come on, man.
Can't even talk trash no more.
You can't. That is unacceptable. So yeah. So that Valley game, that's it for me.
Marcus, your favorite games on the schedule?
For me, it's I guess Tennessee State, just renewing that rivalry, and hopefully it'll renew it not only for folks who remember it back when, but also rekindle it for the current student base and going forward. And the other one for me is Alabama State, because now if Andrew Body comes back, we get some lick back for that whooping they put on us last year, but also the intrigue of the other coaches, former Alabama State coaches, going back to the stadium and seeing how things play out. So there's going to be a lot of intrigue going on there. So that's probably the one that I'm looking at too.
He didn't say that's our stadium. He didn't say that's our stadium. Alabama State is our stadium.
Oh, yeah. They have not lost there.
No.
Go ahead, Kelvin. Favorite games.
So the one I'm gonna highlight at the end is one that nobody else has highlighted, and I'm gonna explain why it's my favorite game. But two that I'll just bring out. Well, before I even say those two, we're playing historically six of the 8 top teams that we played the most with this schedule. So, Tennessee State, of course, Bethune, Southern, South Carolina State, Albany State, and Alabama State. We played them a ton historically. The only two that I think that missing out of that top 8 would be, I think, A&T and Tuskegee. if I remember those stats right. So we playing a traditional rival schedule with this. I love it. All right, so South Carolina State defending champions. We get the chance to, after playing Albany, we get the chance to see where we are right off the bat. I love that matchup, and then of course Tennessee State. But my personal favorite game will be this year. I'm looking forward to, even though I love the schedule, I love them all. It's going to be the Alcorn game because I've never been to the reservation, and I'm looking forward to going to the reservation. That's the only reason it's my favorite game. I'm looking forward to that one.
Me too. I'm going.
It's
I heard it's a good time. I gotta go see what it's about.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
I'm just telling you right now, when you go down there, you ain't gonna have no phone signal.
I heard about
you
that.
tell somebody when you get off I-20, you better tell them in because you ain't gonna talk to them after that. So if you going down there to holler at G, you better say, G, where are you at before you get off I-20? Because I'm telling you, ain't no phone signal down there.
Oh my goodness!
No, that's not even possible. I thought T-Mobile covered the entire country.
Man,
or is that the little white
the
dot?
only thing that cover the country at all is the country down in Alcorn.
Wow. What if you got to call AAA?
But you
What
don't have to
call
worry
the
about
police?
You're not going
The police are already there. What you mean?
They
Ain't no
gonna feed
police can't
you. You
get
gonna
there.
eat. They you gonna have a good time. If you drink, they gonna give you plenty of that. It's gonna be flowing with milk and honey. Okay, trust
It's one way in and one way out.
Whoa,
You're not.
Tasha,
I already got
Once
to
you're there, you're
Kincaid
there.
and the boys. I can't listen. Let me tell you a quick story. So Kincaid's a big alum down there. He's watching all our shows. I literally text Kincaid the day this schedule came out. I said, I need parking passes and I need you to put my truck right, like Tasha say, right where they. Because when I said them boys cook, boys cook.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to worry. So when y'all come down, just find me because I'm gonna be right there next to Kincaid. Shout out to Kincaid and them Alcorn boys.
Wow. Well, okay. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to try to find a satellite phone or something.
My phone worked. I got AT&T. It worked.
I mean, no, it's okay, Brian. It's okay, Brian. We understand y'all have internet problems when y'all go to Mississippi.
No, we won't. No, we'll be anyway. I do want to underscore something that Kelvin said in talking about the historic nature of this schedule. Kelvin mentioned the top 7, but I'm gonna bring it in a little tighter, Kelvin. Of the 5 programs that we have played the most, 4 of them are on this schedule. Bethune-Cookman, of course, being the number 1. We have played them 76 times, according to the data that I'm looking at, right? We have a 52-24 record against Cookman overall. Tied for second most is Southern, 68 times. We have a 41-26-1 record against Southern. In 4th place, 4th most times that we have played is South Carolina State, 62 times that we have played them. 34-26-2 is FAMU's record. Now, of the 5, the 5th team is Tennessee State, who we have played 55 times. Unfortunately, it is the only school that we have a losing record against, 25-30. So that just kind of underscores the historic nature of the schedule that we have. So I just thought I'd share that with everybody.
It's wild that we have a losing record against them when, like, for the longest time, like the ATL Classic felt like the FAMU Invitational because, like, we just would always beat them.
Isn't that John Merritt though?
They cheated John Merritt. They cheated a lot.
Yeah.
Like I've heard a story of them having players.
The refs flew down with their team when they came to Tallahassee.
With John Merritt. No, that's real stuff down there.
Yeah. Yeah, they were considered a road program back then, which is why they really weren't in conferences.
No, they were independent.
Yeah,
they played anybody, any place.
They were rogue. Yeah.
The other thing that I'll bring up, what's interesting is going to the OBC down to South Florida, playing South Carolina State on September 6th, Sunday, and then staying. I believe in kind of what my sources have kind of told me or informed me is that the program and the team will actually stay in South Florida during that entire week instead of traveling back to Tallahassee. They will stay in South Florida, and they'll play Miami on a Thursday night. Now, brings up an interesting thing because we've seen this in the NFL. I don't know if we've seen this in the college level on such short gap where a team will play on a Sunday and then turn around with, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on 4 days off, rest, turn around and play the next game. What are anybody have general thoughts, concerns about that short turnaround?
I believe the MAC did it. They play on Saturday, like a team might play on Wednesday, then they have the following. They all play into the following Saturday. But I think the MAC have a few 4 or 5 day turnarounds because they play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But outside of that, you're right. The college level is not something you see much of. I think it's fair to have the concern about injuries and those 2 tough games too, right? South Carolina State gonna be physical, and of course just played for the national championship. So I'm sure the coaches have a plan for that and how they'll play those two games. They probably won't look the same. But that's 1.3 million, I think. So it makes sense. It's a long holiday weekend.
Well, you say it makes sense, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate for the student athletes.
Wait, that's Troy's job.
I'll be quiet.
No, that's fair. I started off by saying it's fair. That is a legitimate concern. Player safety, that's a legitimate concern. And what I'm hitting at is, and I'm not saying, I'm sure the coaches, the competitors, the players, competitors, they're gonna try to play, but I would think some of the lineup might look a little different against TSU, and there'll be a very short leash for those starters if as that Miami game goes on. But yeah, it's concern.
Yeah, can I jump in?
Hold on. Okay, Gerald, go, and then Troy. Go ahead, Gerald, then Troy.
Man, I feel like the way I feel about the money games is way different than how I felt when I first got here. I don't really like them. I mean, I understand it. I understand that it's a big payday. I understand that, but I mean, I'm just not in agreement of really subjecting your team into a beatdown game. I mean, you saw what happened last time they played against Miami. You saw what happened to the last security guards. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan of it. I mean, I think the 2024 season really opened my eyes to it when they went to Troy, and that game was like a competitive game. If it's a money game in that aspect, yeah. But if you play in the Miamis, or even when you played against North Carolina the 2022 season, I'm not really a big fan of those games, just because every time you see those games, it ends up being the North Carolina game. It was competitive for a bit, but also eventually you start seeing players getting injured and might be injured for a lengthy amount of time and things like that. So I'm more into the Troy game, the USF game in 2023. That wasn't that bad neither. That was a competitive game too. So, I know it's kind of hard to tell, on the year-to-year basis how these teams gonna be, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the money games anymore.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Troy.
So, a couple things when we talk about that Miami game. The ACC as a whole has been pushed into Friday and Thursday games more and more because of their ridiculous contract with the mothership. Y'all see me beat that dead horse all the time? That's why. ESPN no longer thinks the ACC is a real football conference. So they are subjecting them to stuff that they do with the MAC and the AAC that 4 years ago they wouldn't even think about doing. So the Miami game is not a one-off. Florida State is playing Florida on a Friday. Think about that.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
wild.
more about ESPN than it is about FAMU, Miami, or the ACC.
All right.
So the only saving grace for that is I was just looking at the bye weeks, and so those first 3 games, it's really quick. I mean, I saw some place where it was like 2 games in 4 days, pretty much. I don't know what game plan you even put out there for Miami. I mean, it's not going to be the same team for the most part. They are getting that quarterback from Duke, but then after that, you do get a nice little break before Tennessee State, and then you get a bye week before that second half slate. But I'm with y'all. Like, I don't love the beatdown games. I don't. It's Miami. Like, you know what it's going to be. Like, I'll be honest. I'm not going down there on Thursday night. I'm going to sit up here and watch it. Now, I might go for the South Carolina State game. But Thursday night, I'm not going down there to watch that. Like, and as a fan, what do I get from that? You know, like, because I can't talk trash to my friends who went to Miami or the people I do know that went to Miami. It's just like they kind of see it as you're just there. It's a practice game for them, and they don't even take you seriously. So, I mean, you know, I don't like the beatdown games at all.
Yeah, a game. So with this, the way this is set up, the way you see it, September 6th to September 10th, you're gonna see why even NFL players hate playing those Thursday night games. They hate it. They hate going overseas to London and Spain. They hate Thursday night. But you know, the blessing is, like Keith mentioned, you have basically a mini bye before you play Tennessee State, so you have a chance to lick your wounds. You're not necessarily going back to Tallahassee, so it's going to be remote learning and catching up on classes and stuff, and also recovering between September 6th and September 10th. But I'm like, y'all, man, you know, we know what Miami's going to do. But Miami's already pissed off because of the way they lost the national championship. They have a first-round running back returning. They just brought in probably someone that could be he gonna be a first round after he gonna be a first round.
They got him and the receiver.
And Malachi Tony, who's still
no. They got the quarterback and the receiver from Duke.
The receiver from Duke.
Yeah. Package deal.
Yeah. See, so I mean, you know, again, they're pissed off. They want to prove a point. So my thing is, look, just, you know, get in, get out, try to stay as healthy as you can, get to Tennessee State. You have time to lick your wounds. But I'm surprised Miami didn't do away with this game and try to replace it with, say, Florida. And for us, you know, play a group of 5 team going forward. If we're still set up to play Georgia in a couple of years, we need to find a way to get out of that.
They canceled that. We're not going to play that. They canceled that.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, because we don't need to see Kirby. Yeah. Ooh, no. Thank God. But, yeah, you know, again, that mini bye is going to come in handy. But I hate the quick turnaround.
And just to put into context for people, I just looked this up off of what Troy was talking about in this ACC Miami schedule. Miami is playing the weekend before. They are playing on a Friday in California. So they're playing in against Stanford. And so obviously so it's not like they're sitting at home in the East Coast time zone relaxing. They'll be traveling. And so, you know, for whatever it's worth, it's not like they will have that much more of an advantage over our athletes in terms of rest, travel, recovery. So I just thought I'd put that out there.
Also, for the record, as much as we hate it, FAMU and Miami is normally in their top 5 attendance games. Like there's not a huge drop off attendance wise. So like even when we played UCF, like I don't know if y'all remember, had not it been for COVID, UCF pretty much called FAMU back and was like, hey, you want to run that back? Because we show up as a fan.
But I don't think on a Thursday though. I don't think we've ever played Miami on a Thursday though. It'll be interesting to see.
2010.
We have really.
I think that was a Friday. It was a weeknight game.
Okay. Miami don't show up for Miami games.
That's true.
that part right there.
That part. That's why they keep FAMU on the schedule.
Listen. Okay. Hold on. All right.
Oh.
My orange and green goes both ways. I've been letting y'all get it all. Okay. But we're getting too far.
The truth is the light.
We're getting a little far.
But I will say though, like, you know, being like going to the restaurants and stuff like the day after and even like the day before the Orange Blossom Classic last year, like leading up to the Notre Dame game when they were about to play the Irish, you know, a lot of their fans, you know, when you walk into a restaurant and you're wearing FAMU clothes, they ask you, they're like, oh my gosh, you know, did the band come? Or, you know, when we play y'all again, is the band coming? And that's what they really want to know.
They just
Like,
want
and
to see
that's
the band.
yeah, that's same deal like here when, you know, when we play USF. Like that's what they always want to know. Like, oh, is the 100 coming? Like that's all that those folks care about.
Paid 100. So anyway, we'll see. It's good to see Steve kind of breaking some news. Maybe Jack that the 100 will be traveling to Jackson. I'm assuming that 100 will travel to Alabama State too.
Yeah, they're going to Alabama State.
Wow.
They're going to Alabama State. They're going to Jackson.
We owe Jackson State
because and we got some Southern people in there. But here's the thing, and you guys know this, and where our schedule's set up, we play Southern and Jack State every other year, far as on the road. The 100's got to be in Baton Rouge every year. They got to be at Jack State every year. Yep. Because if you're talking about, I know this is not a band, but this is important for the culture. When you're naming bands, you're going to say the Jukebox, you're going to say the Sonic Boom, you're going to say the Marching 100. When the Marching 100 is not there, that's not good for our brand. That's not good for the family, which is a big brand, football and the band, just like Jack State football and the band, Southern. So like, that's why I was like, yo, because again, if anybody was at that Jackson game, I'm telling you, when we stopped those guys, that 100 had to start cranking up, but that whole stadium was quiet, and all we was like, what 100 that? And that 100 had to, you know, you just get the energy. You guys know that the band brings the energy.
Yeah,
so like I said, and just to get one thing off the tangent, if you at the Celebration Bowl. And when South Carolina Crunk was that pass the peas, it was over.
Yeah.
It was over. That whole game changed when them boys crunked that thing up to bring that back. So the band makes a big difference in games like that. So, yeah, so there you go.
Any other conflicts in Tallahassee? We mentioned that there was a Clemson game conflict.
Man, Brian, ain't nobody worry about them crabs. FSU sucks.
Yeah, Norvell gonna be going by then.
They still bring twice as many people to games, though.
Yeah, I think there's 3 days. There's 3 days. I think the 29th of August. I think September 26th.
Oh yeah, they play New Mexico State.
So that's the Alabama.
Ain't nobody gonna be there for that.
Unless it's Parents Weekend.
And the Southern game.
Well, as somebody, and I'm gonna say that people say they don't come, but it's not about who's coming; it's about what the hotels have done. Because I knew the schedule before, like everybody, and literally, you're not going to even believe this. I can't get a room under $250 for the Alabama A&M game because guess what? They know that FSU is probably going to play, and they've just and this is Alabama. They're playing. Who are they playing? Because I got it right there. Who are the FSU playing on the 26th? Somebody said New Mexico.
That's on the 29th.
Central Arkansas is on the 26th.
Okay.
What?
And you go the rooms that cost the most.
Got to get wins this year.
Is that Alabama A&M game? It's just crazy. That is.
It don't matter how many wins you get. They still gonna
Norvell got to get wins this year.
Well,
they gonna fire him and his boss. That don't matter.
All right, so
off with their heads.
Three conflicts there in Tallahassee. All right, homecoming again is October 24th. So, all right, guys, let's kind of wrap up this segment here on the schedules. And I since Gerald was the one who first put it out there in public spaces, let's talk about bold, way too early predictions and projections. Now, I guess I don't know if this is a spoiler alert, Gerald, you know, because we do want to encourage people to go read your articles. Can you give us a tease to make people go read the article? How do you predict? Like if you had an over, let me put it like this, Gerald. If I set the over under at 7.5 wins, did you predict FAMU to win more than 7.5 games this year?
Yeah, I'll take the over on that.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just say.
But I mean, hold on. I need to say something though. It's people out here, and I understand, fandom and all that. I'm a graduate myself, but we got to be realistic. We got people out here saying about 11-1, 12-1, all that.
Wrong fan base, Gerald. Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, logic don't work. We 11-1 every year.
Yeah.
If we play in Miami,
Man, we
12-0,
got somebody
we
said
not.
12 and 0. Yeah, somebody
I'm
said
right
12
here,
and 0.
Gerald. I'm right here.
Yeah, we got somebody said 12 and 0. I'm like, shoot, is the 12 and 0 in the room with us? You know what I'm
Looking
saying?
right, 12-0 looking right at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nah.
I mean, I feel like the for me the ceiling is 9 wins and the floor is 7 wins. Now, something that scared me on the schedule is those back-to-back weeks going to Alabama State and Jackson. You know, that right there, I'm like, all right, that's gonna be kind of rough. You know, that can be a split, that can be a sweep, or that can be you just leave that empty-handed. You know, especially with a first-year head coach. So those are the 2 games that really I'm kind of worried about just because they're back to back. But I mean, I'm going to say it. Family gonna win the Classic again this year.
Yeah,
they're gonna win the Classic. They're gonna beat Tennessee State. That's South Carolina State. And this is as of right now. That's South Carolina
Which
State.
Classic? I'm sorry, Gerald. Which Classic? Because we didn't win any Classics last year. What Classic are you referring to?
The Classic.
You gotta break it down because
the Classic.
Florida Classic, man.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The Classic.
Bro, it's late. It must be late.
I'm sorry. It is. It is.
And he ain't got his
Sorry.
earrings in.
You sure you ain't had none of my stuff?
But yeah, I feel like family gonna win the Classic this year. I don't think I'm gonna come off of that hill, you know, right for the season. You know, unless if granted entry into practice this year, see something that may not, be whatever. But I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I'm nervous about that South Carolina State game too, just because I mean they always a formidable opponent, and I mean, like I said, you got a first-year head coach, so it's gonna be a adjustment period for him. So, but I think it still be a season that a lot of people will be happy about.
All right, Troy. Oh, we love to hear your predictions, Troy.
12-0. You about to say 12-0?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But so everybody wants to say first-year head coach, right? It's like a pimp named Slickback, right? You got to say D2 National HBCU Championship coach, a pimp named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing. Now, I get we done been through some trauma. We done been through some trauma. And trauma makes you not have hope. But looking at them all in for Quinn numbers, I think there is hope. And the hope is we ain't finna be rational. You got Miami on the schedule. You got TSU on the schedule. I'm gonna say 10-2. I really want to say 11-1, but I'm gonna say 10-2 to be safe. And if you feel some type of way in Jackson, we can bet eyebrows, press-ons, or chest hairs. It don't matter to me.
This is great.
You know you ain't got but 2 eyebrows versus 10 press-ons. You gotta be careful about the numbers, Troy.
That's why he bet the chest hairs too.
You got the one chest. You got the one chest, Troy. I'm just letting you know.
Which way you shaving though? Which way you shaving? You can shave.
Wow. And okay. Jay Beats, let's hear it.
All right. So right out the gate, I'm looking at just the first half of the schedule there. I'm predicting 4-2, and I'm just gonna say 4-2 going into Jackson on the 17th. I think at that point, you're still proving to be formidable. I think your 2 losses are in that, that little 4-day span right there. I think you can get past Alabama A&M. I think you can get past Alabama State with or without Andrew Body coming back, because I think you're going to have a more formidable defense this time around, one that knows how to tackle better. My ceiling is 5-1. That only loss being Miami, because if you come out looking, just all elite, which I know that's a little bit of a stretch, then I think, even more so, the SWAC East is coming down to October 27th. I definitely think that. My floor is 3-3. I think if you go 3-3 in that first half, its losses to South Carolina State, Miami, and Alabama State. And then at that point, you're kind of like, we'll see how the back half goes. I definitely think that this team can win 7 to 8 for sure. But, we'll see.
All right, Tasha.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my floor is 8 games. My ceiling is 9. You guys are not worried about or I'm not worried about anybody, but while most of you have, or some people have us losing to Jackson and beating Bama State, I think the opposite. I actually think Bama State is going to be the harder game, and I think we beat Jackson this year. I think we get over that hump. Yeah, so 8 games is the floor and 9 games is the ceiling for me.
Boy, that's a high and low. That's tight right there, boy. Love it. Go ahead, Campbell.
I remember us putting this together the first time, and it was nice. Kelvin, hey man, I got this great idea. We're gonna get all these people together. We're gonna predict, and all y'all jokers lied about what was going to happen. I'm not doing that.
So, hold up. I was honest about Southern. I was right.
That's what we do.
All y'all was
hey, I take great pride in my lies.
I was honest. I was right
about Southern.
I did say we were going to beat Southern.
Yeah, that's true.
Kofi beat Southern. I'm not worried about Southern.
Nobody's worried about Southern.
Right. But I also said it was going to depend on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's true too. To be fair, I did say we was going to just give up 10 to Howard. We did give up 10. I thought we was going to score 34.
Right, you see what they doing now, Kelvin? You see what they doing now? Now they're re-swizzling they lie. Well,
just on it, fellas. Just on
I did say it.
We said what we said.
Here go JP. I said they were going to go score 10. I didn't know we were going to go score 9, though.
That's true. I had faith. I had faith in the defense.
Somebody scored 10.
It wasn't us.
Yeah, so I'm just going. This is my prediction. I predict that we're going to win the games we're supposed to win. Y'all know what those games are. The rest of them games, I ain't talking about them because those games that I saw 40, 40, and 40. So I ain't saying nothing about those games until we start playing the game. But the game we supposed to win, I believe those were coaching games that we lost. And we don't need to name those games, but we know which games those are. So I believe we will win those games. But the rest of those, as they say, we'll let them play. But I ain't about to sit up there and I'm not going to do Coach Quinn like that. Coach Gray. So I'm just telling you that. I ain't going to be out here because I'm telling you this because I literally had somebody clip that show and send me that. Y'all remember? You know Jack State people. How many y'all say y'all was going to win?
They're the best at that, aren't they?
Oh, bro. I had, listen. Okay. They made a whole little thing.
They keep receipts. They keep receipts.
Oh, bro.
CBS receipts. I'm clipping them this year.
We didn't just.
I ain't ducking no smoke. I don't care nothing about it.
No. I'm just saying, I just can't let y'all go ahead and be talking about no 10, 11, 12, and 1.
Thank you, Steve. Catch them. Save them from themselves.
Or I'm gonna do like I saw the white man. We'll be very competitive every game that we play. That's what
I think Troy the only one that went way out there now. Everybody else at least predicted 2 losses.
It's all right. So it's all right. I know
eyebrows.
Hey, he got the Cardinals behind him. He can do that, I guess.
I know after my prediction get around, I know I get some messages sent to my email about we winning every game. You don't know what you're talking about.
You boys come.
Wow. It's always that one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keith. What you got?
I already told you I got 8. I said it when they hired him. I said it before. I have 8 wins. Look, when the second you said Quinn Gray, I had 8 wins because, as Mr. Campbell said, the games we lost were largely because of coaching. And if we were nice. We were a very good media team last year. We were very nice. We did not ask any disparaging questions. Even when the internet went out in Mississippi, we didn't ask those questions. We were nice people. 8 wins. Like the first couple games of the season, I think you beat Albany State, South Carolina State, and UM probably are L's. I think the Tennessee State game is going to be kind of close, but I think you should win that. I think you should also win Alabama A&M. I don't know about Alabama State. They've lost a lot. I ain't seen it bring in a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a question. Jackson State, even though I think right now I would have them, but I wouldn't put that one past Quinn either. UAPB, that's a dumpster fire. I'm surprised that brother's still working. Thank God. Hey, there's a God somewhere. We all need that kind of favor. Southern, I mean, this is his first time coaching anywhere, so good luck. I don't think he's going to do well. Alcorn, I mean, that's a toss-up. And Valley, we ought to beat them by 70. And then Cookman, I mean, you know, the only thing I like about them is a quarterback. And everything else, I mean, you know, you better get your tetanus shot because we're going to beat them.
Wow. Not the tetanus shot.
Ashley.
So my floor is 7 wins and my ceiling is pretty much 9 wins, but I think of those 2 wins, I'm kind of here like we might I feel like we might surprise 2. I'm not gonna say who, but I feel like we might have a underdog going into it and the bets are against us, and we might be able to pull one of those 2 that I'm thinking about out. But 7 is where I'm kind of hovering around at the moment. And then I think we all might be like, oh, kind of like what Charlie Ward doing us right now, because let's just be honest.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, for him on the basketball side of things. So I'm giving Coach Quinn and his amazing assembled staff the ability to kind of shock us here at a game where nobody was going to give us the prediction to win.
All right, Marcus.
I've got a floor of 7 wins and a ceiling of 9.
7 and 9. Floor 7, ceiling 9. Kelvin?
Well, I was one of those people when we hired Charlie and that staff was announced that said in year 1 we will win and we'll be in the top 4. So right now it's looking good. Again,
Kelvin, you're right. You did. You are one of the few that I remember sticking to that. So you're right.
I believe in this staff. I'm saying we're going undefeated at home. It's going to start there.
I like that. I like that prediction. I like that. I can do that.
And so now, can we win 2 out of the 4? I'm saying we can win 2 out of the 4 road games. Not that's not Miami or neutral site games. So
look at the
so my sweet spot is 8.
Hold on, Kelvin. Can we put South Florida Rattler on the screen?
Yeah, please.
Sorry,
Jimmy,
Kelvin.
late night. He late night. I don't know.
He catch somebody slipping eye.
Gosh.
It's coming football players slipping with their girlfriend.
Lord have mercy.
All right, sorry.
No. So 9 is my ceiling. And 7 is my floor. But it would not shock me if we did go 10.
Beaten the allegations of being a cult. We're never beating those allegations.
No,
of course not.
We are.
You saying it's a chance? Jimmy said. So you saying it's a chance?
1%. 1%
I just need
is
to
a
know,
chance.
like, is there a plan to just kidnap Mark Fletcher and Malachi Tony before the game? I'm just curious.
We beating everybody.
Didn't Malachi Tony
happened on a flight from California back to South Florida? Remember that. That's a long trip.
That's true. So I'm just curious how this is going to work. Okay.
No,
hey.
see what South Florida Rally forget to tell you. He played NCAA Dynasty. That's Dynasty mode that he's talking about.
That must be Sega Genesis.
That's his Dynasty mode that he done got built up. You know what I'm saying? Got a new stadium and all that. So that's his NCAA Dynasty mode.
The only I'm like you, Campbell. The only prediction, I learned my lesson last year. The only prediction I will make is that we will open the season unbeaten.
Hey,
because I really feel we will win the opening game of the season. And then we're just gonna watch the rest of the season play. I'm sorry. Okay, whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what trauma looks like.
Right. Don't say it was chest, Brian. 7 wins.
Wait a minute, Brian, hold on. Wait a minute,
Brian was giving
I'm
all the. Brian was giving all the.
I'm gonna help Brian out. Brian is with me. I said, and I think Brian agreed with. If we win the games we supposed to win last year, count those up. You would know what the number is.
7 to 8 wins.
Okay.
That's
all I'm saying.
That's how I ended up at 8 wins.
So now, if to Kelvin's point, if we cooking, then y'all can go crazy. But I think me and Brian on the same way. We just saying it a different way. We still got the positivity.
If we cooking, it's catfish and mullet sandwiches
Brian
all day.
Well, I can say this.
How's your hot sauce and your mustard?
Wow.
Having made predictions with Brian every year for the last 5 years on all kind of games, Brian is scary. If we had win 10-2 last year, Brian would still be talking about, well, you know, it kind of worries me.
Hey, Kelly, not only is he scary, he gonna be real political with it too. Because
Yeah.
you know,
Brian was on. Brian
gonna be real political. Brian, you can listen. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. You hadn't been on. We were doing this, right? We were just going there. You come in there. Well, you know, I think we got to look at the other side. Why are you looking at the other side? Hey, we ain't both sided nothing.
We can't. We saw back to back 40 pieces at Bragg. Brown like, yeah, we gonna turn it around. We about to turn it around. Getting slapped. No, take the blood on him.
Give RJ another chance. Y'all don't see it. Man,
Brian making me mad.
Brian RJ stats. Well, if you look at the stats where he's compared to Andrew Body, he's the second best quarterback.
This Negro couldn't read defense.
I have to keep y'all tuned in and listening, and at least give you a sliver of hope and belief. That's my job. My
There wasn't
job.
no hope last year.
Hey.
Until there
See,
was.
just come out and pull the receipts out on you like that.
Told people I was wasting Saturdays last year, man.
And listen, but here's the thing with Brian. Hey,
Saturday.
Kelvin, here's the funny thing. Me, Cheryl, and Keith was sitting out there, right? So we're sitting in the press conference, and we like, hey, why that man ain't throw the ball past 5 yards? We come on here with Kelvin. Well, you know, those were good passes, those 3-yard passes. That, you know, he was trying.
3 yards.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
But I tell you what, let me say
when he
this.
told Troy, don't ask me about my quarterback no more. I knew what time
Let
of
me
day it
say
was.
this. Them 3-yard passes got that boy in bag. Y'all see what happened to him. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to
Yeah,
say.
he was
Brian
one
must
of
have
the
been on to
worst
something.
football teams in Division I football.
Don't
Yes.
matter. He got a bag.
He might have got a bag, but then
That's why he ain't throw
Don't matter.
interceptions.
He got a bag. He got
Yeah.
a bag.
Interceptions because he was digging and
0-12.
dunking us all season.
Thank you,
We
Tasha.
wish him the
Thank you.
best. We wish him the
Sure
best.
do.
I do wish him the
all
best.
I'm
Yeah.
so
I
happy.
wish him better than that, though. UMass
All right.
sucks. They stay
UMass
in small and
sucks.
brag.
UMass sucks. They got Jamarcus Russell Jr. match made in heaven. Perfect marriage.
Wow.
No, neither one's going anywhere.
Well, you know what? I hate to be as somebody fathers and not to, you know, rain on anybody's parade, but the problem is they also brought the quarterback in from Virginia Tech, who was the Massachusetts Player of the Year.
Oh wow!
Right, a week later. So
I mean, you said that like you said that like Massachusetts is a football power state.
I say if the kid could go to Virginia Tech and play, and he played.
Oh, okay. Well,
I wish better for RJ than that. I'll say that.
Well, if he got some money, he got a bag. It's touch. Hey, good. More power to him.
Hey, Brian, I do
All
have one.
money ain't good money.
Brian, I do have one fearless prediction that when you're doing the play-by-play, and you will be able to say instead of it's 3rd and 8, you gonna be able to say it's 3rd and 2 this time. I guarantee.
Over under. Brian says move those chains per game 10 times because I promised
easy.
last
So
year.
I feel better for you, Brian, just for that.
As long as I don't have to say, "Oh no, he's wide open." As long as I don't have to say that, I will consider it a win. Okay.
Will Brian be able to say touchdown in the first half? Will he be able to
Let me somebody clip. Let's get that bet going. Now, clip that, please.
Or will we be able? We gonna be able to use that cannon that everybody was mad about last year? We didn't need it last year, y'all. The news flash. We didn't even need a cannon.
You didn't need no cannon last year.
How many times we gonna see them touchdown lights get used for touchdowns instead of just for we not paid for them? We just got to use them.
All right, we paid
Wow.
We did not. Might as well flash them up.
Y'all leave it. I hope y'all getting all that trauma from last season out. We don't want to address this again no more.
Let's get it on out. This is therapy. You gotta get it out. We're gonna start fresh.
Look, I got to get me a leather jacket like the president to wear some of these games.
Kelvin, I guess the over hit on that early show prediction or whoever put that out there. I will say it's time to go. Sadly, I would say hey, no one's talked about basketball, but I know some of y'all are gonna look at me like, oh, I'm out. But anyway, yeah. So we will have to table our discussion. Maybe I don't know anybody doing the show Thursday? Keith, you're doing the show Thursday, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so maybe on Thursday, maybe some of us will come jump in on Keith's show, and we'll talk about basketball and what. Tasha she's like, I'm out. So then
Tasha too cute for my show.
I was going to close it out of here, but Tasha said I got to go. All right, it's all good. Let's get ready to wrap. So we will wrap it up and close out the show. There it is. All right. So Tasha's out. Thanks for Tasha for coming in. She's like, I got to go to work in the morning. Oh, wait a minute. She's back. All right. Hold on. Maybe. All right. So we will wrap it up. We'll give her some grief when she logs back in. But thank you to everybody. Quickly, let us know where you're at, where we can find you next show. Go, Ashley.
Fang Exchange. We actually moved our day. We typically go on Thursdays, but we found it beneficial and necessary to switch over to Tuesdays. So we will officially, and this previous Tuesday was our first time officially doing that. So next week and the following weeks and moving forward, we'll officially change our YouTube weekly show, to Tuesdays. Myself, Mr. Shea, who was also on the screen or trying to come back to the screen, disappeared like a thief in the night over there. But myself and her, along with oftentimes guests, we speak all things FAMU athletics. We are in an NIL organization, and we support student athletes at Florida A&M. We look to improve, grow, scale upward in 2026. So come find us, Fang Exchange, on all platforms, Twitter, X, Facebook, as well as Instagram. Be on the lookout. We have some really big and cool things that are coming up very, very soon. And shout out to our guy, Terrell Jennings, for making it to the Super Bowl.
All right. Go ahead, Keith.
Oh man, look, tomorrow, Fangs Up podcast. As Brian mentioned, it's funny. Yes, basketball is going to be the highlight. Kind of looking to see if our teams can bounce back. Also, talk a little bit about the schedule. We got to talk a little trash on it. And just get ready for the track team's going to be up there. People that are up in the so making that team, but good times. We always have good trouble. And I'm like y'all. I'm in line like Troy and the rest of y'all, trying to get our good athletic director on the show and. Looking forward to having him come on. Great conversation with him with St. Clair last week. But so I'll be there Thursday, then Friday, round one with St. Clair Rain, and then Sunday back to the Fangs Up podcast.
Nice job.
Real quick, someone asked what time for Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on Tuesdays for the new showtime.
Nice. Go ahead, Mr. Campbell, Steve.
Well, HBC Coach Corner will be back. We are working because I know Coach Quinn Gray has been out recruited, and we were going to try to have him on Tuesday, but I forgot that's National Signing Day the next day, so we'll see what happens. We're going to have him. We're going to have Chennis Berry coming on. We're going to have Ted White, and we're probably going to try to get Coach Charlie Ward on HBC Coach's Corner to talk a little bit about basketball and what he's done. So, exciting time. You had Coach Bill on, Coach Soup. I'm super excited that, again, we've gone 28 days without any FAMU foolishness. Let's keep it going, guys. Please, let's keep it going. And, that's what we're going to have on HBCU Coach's Corner.
I love that. 21 days without FAMU fools. Let's keep that going.
That's the streak.
Troy,
that's the streak.
That's the streak. Right. Let's keep that going. Troy, let them know.
So you can find us at Fat Mouth Sports on YouTube. We will have tomorrow on Thursday at 8 o'clock. We will have Coach Jonathan Hernandez from Bethune-Cookman on, talk about some SWAC baseball, the FAMU-BCU rivalry. We'll also have Jay Bell, former Florida A&M football player, on to talk about some wild times that our group experienced while we was in Tallahassee. And on Tuesday coming up, we're going to have A.D. Davis on. He was supposed to be on this Tuesday, but he had an emergency. So this Tuesday coming up, he'll be on the show. And we'll talk about his vision for FAMU, specifically NIL, revenue share, facilities, things that, we've been asking for, and how we can get more information about, you guessed it, season tickets. So that's on Tuesday at 8:30. As always, like, share, subscribe, lead with love, and have fun, man.
Beautiful. Go ahead, Jay Peeps.
So, yeah, y'all can find us on Facebook at Penalty Talk, on Twitter at Penalty Talk, on Instagram at Throw Flags. Rattler Roundup podcast is back officially. Being Ace. Been trying to get in touch with Bishop. I know he's got business to take care of right now, so we're gonna wish him the best with that because it's all about securing the bag first and taking care of the family and everything. So whenever he comes back, we'll welcome him with open arms. But out of respect for Fang Exchange, I will discuss with Ace about moving the Rattler Roundup podcast back to 9 p.m. because ladies first, and then of course Run and Gun podcast on Wednesday nights at 8. Me, Ace, Mr. Sasser, and all of our foolishness and stuff and craziness and out of pocket takes. Something's wrong with those guys. But yeah, also too, did speak briefly with Quinn. Hopefully we can get him on one of these Tuesdays. Hopefully we can get AD Davis on as well here soon. So, we'll see. I know they're probably watching. So, come on, let's chop it up. Let's talk about it. Please. We'd love to have you. So yeah.
Good stuff. All right, GT3, let them know where they can get all your work and what's upcoming.
Yeah, of course, Tallahassee Democrat. You see, I got my own page on here. I don't know if you can see it like that, but if you Google Gerald Thomas, Tallahassee Democrat, click the first thing and I'll pop up all my recent work. And if you want to go straight to the FAMU coverage, just type in rattlernews.com and that'll take you to the Tallahassee Democrat FAMU sports coverage. So yeah, man, schedule dropped. It's been kind of a busy few weeks, coming into this new year, just with the coaching hire, and then this week with the schedule dropping and the coaching staff being announced and all those things. So there's been a lot of things to cover, been a lot of news that's just been flowing out of FAMU, new athletic director, and then now you got basketball. I doing some big things. I want to see more people in them stands at these games, because they're out there winning. And I'm talking about both teams. So, but what's to come? Basketball season still going. I mean, will we be in March Madness? This year. Just gotta wait and see. Baseball is on the way. Be on the lookout for some baseball coverage, and just continue to support me, man. Still coming in with the coverage. So I appreciate y'all for having me on tonight.
Hey, I got one quick. Hey, Gerald, can we get that paywall hookup though, bro? Because we be trying. We gonna read the first two sentences and then. So what we got to get to do get that paywall?
Hello.
You trying to get Jerry fired? You trying to get him fired now?
Oh, my bad. I hit you on the back.
Yeah, that's above my pay grade, man. That's above my pay grade. But if you do subscribe, it do make me look good now. So
okay.
Something to think about now.
Tell them, Gerald, it's commission based, and see that help you out a little bit. You get a little something from that, maybe.
Yeah. So
I want to add one more thing too before we wrap it up. Tuesday specifically, as we intended last week to happen, we will be teaming up with Troy and the crew for the AD session on Tuesday. So while we will go on, we always, as intended last week, to kind of bring everybody on over, and we'll be in one place on Tuesday to make sure we speak with our new AD. So just a heads up for that, for Fang Exchange.
Nice. Well, hey, I on behalf of Marcus and Kelvin, we appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with us so late and chopping up and talking about the new coaching hires and the new schedule. For anybody still watching or maybe watching on replay, in the top left corner is the QR code for the All In Restore to Strike campaign. I'm looking at live numbers right now. We are over 203,000, actually 203,340 to be exact, with 629 donors. We've got 2 days to the 31st. I'm sure maybe it'll be open afterwards, but the goal is to get to 250 in the next 48 hours. Let's see if we can get that done, Rattler Nation. Let's see if we can get up to 1,000 donors. I mean, 629, it's not impossible to get to 1,000. And at 1,000 donors, we can very possibly reach this goal of $250,000. So I want to encourage you guys that. You can follow all the social media handles. You see it at the top of the screen. You can always support the show by hitting the Cash App button there as well, $sign MyJBN, MyBCSN. Make sure you follow, like, and share the show, and that's going to do it for us. I'm going to close it out by playing that little short, nice little video by Marvin Green, and for our Avengers, Tasha, Ashley, Keith, Steve Campbell, Troy, Jay Peeps, Gerald Thomas, Marcus, Kelvin. Got to thank Coach Beal and Coach Shoup for joining us in the first hour with the great softball and baseball preview. Let's get ready for those seasons. And let's all talk FAMU basketball maybe tomorrow on Keith's Fangs Up podcast, since we didn't get to it tonight. All right, fellas, ladies, have a good night, everybody. Get some sleep. Get to work on time tomorrow if you can. And God bless everybody. Fangs up. And Rattlers, let's make sure we strike again. All in for Quinn. Restore the strike. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you, Rattlers. Thank you. We're almost there. Restore the Strike campaign is 5 days away from being finished. You see where we are? Bragg Stadium. We're almost at the finish line, but we need you to cross it. Tell 5 friends about this. Get involved right now. Get all in on the Restore the Strike campaign. 250K is the goal. January 31st is the date. We need you, and we need 5 friends to get all in.